What's going on, people? Today we are going to finish up the intercooler piping. And by finish I mean start and finish, because really I don't have anything welded. So I have this situated. I have these pieces here. I had to reevaluate what I thought I had all buttoned up. So I ended up having to add this quick clamp connection, because if you guys remember in the last video, I didn't have the clamp assembly for this section itself. So I asked Frank, I had him look around. He didn't have anything, or he felt like he did, but whatever. So we're here. We thought that maybe this clamp might work, but this is actually a totally different diameter than what was on there. So I said, you know what? So we don't have to order anything and we can just keep on pushing. I will cut that part of the throttle body off, weld the clamp connection on, and then that way you could just take this off and it's right off the throttle body and it should go right here. Now, however, it did end up pushing the throttle body over to the right a little bit more than where I wanted to, because I originally just wanted to 90 straight down and then 90 back towards the intercooler. Now, that would have been nice. My thing with intercooler piping is I try to make it as short as possible, the least amount of bends, and the least amount of welds and cuts. You want it to flow as nice as possible with as little obstruction. So with that being said, because it is pushed over a little bit more, I'm gonna end up snaking it around and then down. I think it looks aesthetically better doing it this way than it did, just going 90 down and 90 back. It just looked really boring. And then, you'd have like a really jazzy side here. So, yeah, anyways, that's neither here nor there. Most people are just gonna, most fabricators are just gonna pop it wherever it goes. I try to put a little extra thought into it. I want it to look nice. I think this is a very aesthetic looking engine bay for what it is. So. And it's gonna look nice. So yeah, I gotta get it finished up. Like I said, I gotta cut these little extra tabs off and clean up the little bits here and there, but that's what we're gonna be working on. on, guys? I'm finishing up the intercooler piping, obviously. This is all one collective video. My welder's loud as hell, as I always say. So I'm just getting the turbo side buttoned up. I'm gonna throw the clip up there for you. Definitely took me a little longer than I expected, but you know, that's kind of just what happens with this shit. But I got it. Nice. I'm a little particular when it comes to my fitment now. I try to use as little cuts. I try to use smooth, seamless bends, so the least amount of welds, the smoother flow. You know, no pie cuts, no choppy shit. We want it to look good. I really love the way, like I've said in the beginning of this series, I love the way the Australians fabricate their stuff. Everything they do is super clean, super seamless. They really take their time. So a lot of that stuff was inspired for this build. So let's take a look at what I got. This tack broke, unfortunately, when I took the intercooler out. But here's a couple of the bends I was working with. And here's what I ended up working with at the end. So I have 2 pieces here cut, and then I took a small section out of the cast elbow that I welded to make this work. And I have to say, it looks really slick. The idea is, you know, the gases are going to come and smooth flow directly into the cooler properly. Not that there's anything wrong with mocking the other side the same way. My idea was that the exhaust gases have to make their way over to that side, you know, as the intake is sucking in the air from over here. So my idea was to really try to hit it at an angle so that instead of blowing all that air and exhaust gas straight towards the end of the end tank up here into just nothing pretty much, my idea was that it would hit it on an angle and really get sucked into and cool that charged air. So yeah, I'm gonna get this tacked up now and get that all locked into place, and then I am going to work on getting the boy, where did it go? I'm gonna work on getting the intake tube for the turbo done up. We have some 4-inch, 4.5-inch titanium. We got some pre-made pie cuts, some straight, and with that we're gonna make a nice little intake and filter setup. Eventually we're gonna make an intake box, but Frank has to finish some lines for the electric water cooler or something like that. So pretty much the water cooling and some other lines, some other plumbing lines. So we're gonna deal with that mess later. But yeah, so for now we're just gonna put a titanium intake on the turbo side. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous. I probably have like a collective of like 30-40 minutes tops on titanium. So it's a little different. It's kind of sticky. The filler rod's a little sticky. It's a little thinner metal, but like I said, some of you guys know that I weld for my day job. I weld in an aerospace setting, so I'm very familiar with the thin tubes and such. So a little nervous. I think I'll be fine, but yeah, this stuff's expensive, and you want it to look good. I want everything to look good, so I'm a little unrealistic, but if it comes out like a 6 out of 10, don't be surprised, but I'll be upset. So let's get to it. Alright, so I got the intercooler piping all welded up. I just have to do this final weld and that flange weld, but I purposely held off because I want to reassemble everything and make sure it fits right, and that way I'm not totally screwed. So I can still make adjustments here. I could still make adjustments at both flanges if it warped any bit, but you know, as you guys saw, the fit up was really tight. So you know, as long as you have tight fit up, you shouldn't have an issue with really warping. But I'll give you guys a quick look here. fully penetrated. Yeah, so probably look crazy, but I went to the gym before this and I came back to get one of those J pipes done. I cleaned up the shop yesterday and the shop's a mess again, so I'm gonna close the video out here. This one's probably another long one by accident. In the next video, it's gonna be wrapping up the exhaust and the final intercooler bits, and we're gonna be getting ready to deliver this thing. And then we'll do probably either in that video welding up the catch can as well, or that may be a separate video on its own because I wanted to finish out the CAD portion of it. So yeah, we're on the home stretch here. We're gonna finish it here in a day or two and get this thing out of here, and we are on to our next project. Then we finally have some fun Civic and Supra stuff. I mean, fun for me because I'm tired of working on people's shit.